Hello, welcome to episode 143 of We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard. I almost sang that.
You almost sang it. It was pretty good. Like, this isn't our musical episode. We'll get to that, Steven. I don't know if it's going to be
Ooh.
episode 200 or what, but we're going to do a musical and it's going to be good.
We should do a live musical episode where we have to like answer in musical form and
That
everything.
Would be so crazy. I was thinking we would straight like record all the music and then do this, but like lip sync to our like songs that we're gonna make and then cut it all together and make it look like really good. But that would be crazy if we, oh my god, like so on Critically Stupid this week. Oh my god, on Critically Stupid this week, Diana, who plays Mel, was saying like, oh, she really wanted me to like freestyle rap, like Hamilton rap this thing. And I was just like, that's a lot to ask of me right now. And then she's like, I'm just saying it would have made me happy. And I was like, well, now I gotta, like, now I have to try. So I was like, but like, I was not in the headspace to do it, but I still did it. Like, I did it just.
This is the acoustics of this room. Yes. This is not a place for you to put this on me.
But I mean, yeah, but like when I rapped, it was a combination of Fergie and Jesus. Like I did my best. I got it started in there. No, it was fun. It was just crazy. But yeah, that would be intense. Where were we? Oh, the very beginning of our show, Steve. We got distracted by
We've done nothing.
Name. Okay, so every week, Steve Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to overcome our various issues and obstacles. We take, you know what? We take all of our issues and we just sing like a very catchy song to them. We start saying like movie quotes, things that are getting stuck in our issues' brains, so then they can't focus on anything else, and all they hear in their mind over and over and over and over is, "We're just normal men." Just innocent men, because that's all that's happening in my brain lately, Steven. I was at work today. Yesterday, I don't know if if you haven't seen it, go check, like type in "We're Normal Men" on YouTube or whatever, and you'll find it. Have you seen that yet, Steven? You haven't seen the video of the little, like, the puppet bear and the woman?
No.
You haven't seen this? Okay.
I've missed this internet trend.
It's not okay. So here's the thing. This is why it drives me crazy, is because it's a 15-second clip of a thing with no context, and it's so funny, and I don't know why. Like, I think it's funny. Okay, let me just tell you what the clip is first. So for those of you who haven't seen, go type in YouTube "We're Just Normal Men" and it'll pop up. It's like it's everywhere right now, and that's why it's like just stuck its way, it's wormed its way into my ears. But it's this like British show, or it's a show not here. It's and there's a woman and she's with this little bear puppet, and there's this little puppet. And he just looks at her and he says, "We're just normal men." And the way he says it is so sincere. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, you could tell it was ad-libbed. And she's like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "We're just innocent men." The
fact that it's a bear and it's a woman too probably just makes me, I mean, like, because no one is a man right now in this situation, as far as we know. I mean,
it's just like, but like the way he says it is so sincere and so cute and so funny, and like her response is just like, mwah, like it's perfect, because like you can see she did not expect him to say that. It just caught her off guard perfectly at the end of this show, and you can see like they're at the end of their like live broadcast, and she's just cracking up, like she can't keep it together. And it's just like, and you know, it's just like when you watch like Saturday Night Live and like people start losing, like, you know, they start cracking or breaking, and it's just like, why is it so satisfying to watch this? And it's just because it feels real. It's like fun and funny, and you see her,
they're losing it mid. Like whenever people, Grant, I know he did it a lot, but whenever people would give Jimmy Fallon like crap for that, it's like, I don't know, I kind of like it when like they can't keep it together in a skit. That makes the skit like that much funnier. Like,
I love it. I love it so much. The only time I don't love it is when it feels like they don't think the skit's funny, so they lean into breaking it. You know, where I'm like, all right, well, now you're just trying to make me laugh by the fact that you're laughing, and because you know the jokes are bad, and I don't like that. You know,
you're tricking me.
You're trying to trick me into laughing with you, but I want to be laughing at you. I don't like this. You know, but we do that to our issues, Steven. We make them watch those videos, so then they just say we're just normal men 1,000,000 times. That's all I've been doing all day, Steven. But mostly we work on comic books. Most recently, we've been working on a supernatural action horror comedy book called Deathless. We're on issue 2 right now. If you haven't caught up, you can click the links below, read issue 1, hit subscribe, catch up with our story. It's been pretty interesting so far, but we are just getting freaking started, Steven. We're on issue 2. We are not done with this thing yet. We need to be. So how'd you do this?
I got a full page done and some roughs done, but I did not get 3. My weekend,
Steven's a failure. I don't want to hear it, Steven. Steven failed us both. I will say I'm just gonna cut for it. I also too failed us both this week. What are we doing? We are just dragging.
Can I just add though? I think it's really great. Like it's an improvement from issue 1 and Play It Again. That my weekly failure now is a page. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is pretty cool, I think. But I of course want to get more done because I just want to get the book done so that way we can get it to you guys. You know, I mean, it's just life, bro.
Yeah. So every week we talk about, like what we tried to do, whether we succeeded or failed, and then we talk about some issues that got in the way, both mentally, physically, and otherwise. Steven, we had a pretty interesting weekend. I didn't expect to make it, but I got to your house this weekend.
That was awesome.
I got to hang out with you and one of our best friends and a really good friend of the show, Fowler.
Yep.
And
we drank beer, ate pizza. It was awesome. It was like clicking with like a friend we haven't seen in years. Like it was like just immediately back, like right where it was. It was awesome energy.
Yeah, dude. It's a perfect, like, I don't know, just like perfect weekend. It was so much fun to, like, it's always so much fun to meet friends. It was great to meet him. He's one of my favorite people. He joins like the movie nights and he's just like, he's always been super supportive and I love that stuff. That being said, Steven, it wasn't easy for me to get there because I've been having car problems, car issues, Steven. I will post, here's a picture of what my car has been looking like lately. Steven, I got out of work the other day. Right? And now I had a day. Like I work retail. Most of my days are days. Those kind of days where you're just like, oh, everyone's trying to come home with me on my back. It's like The Grudge. It's like the little girl, like someone, yeah, it's just like someone's just on my back. Just like, oh, they're all. It's like I feel like the lady from Labyrinth, the junkyard lady, but it's just junk from work. It's all those people, the worst customers, and they're all weighing me down. I feel them on my back, and so much so that like it's like Goku training with the weighted clothes.
I'm just imagining in that, like even in the gravity room, just like when he keeps cranking the gravity, he's just fucking just like collapsing on himself.
So it's like I'm trying, like I gotta like shake it off. I don't want to be angry, especially like you get angry on the road and you're driving and stuff. I didn't even get that far, Steven. I was mad. I was fuming. I was just like, I'm so sick of this. I don't want to be doing this retail anymore. And these people are making it bad. And when you start spiraling, you do the thing where it's like, you define everything by the worst moment. You're just like, all right, oh, my whole job is this terrible day. It's like, it's not. It shouldn't be like that. You could just as easily, or you could just as reasonably define it as your best day, but you don't. We never do. We're always just like, oh, that lady was mean, and that guy was mean, and this lady was mean, and that guy was mean. This whole job is a nightmare. This is my life, and it's
every aspect horrible.
Yeah. So like I was feeling the weight of all that, and I was just like, this freaking sucks. So I went outside, and I was like, it's time for me to go and get out of here. And I was like mad, and I grabbed my door, and I ripped my handle off of my car, Steven.
What'd you do?
Like, I wish, I mean, it was just one of those. I can't tell you how thankful I am that the door opened while I ripped off the handle. Like, if I just ripped off the handle and I had to crawl in the other side the second that happened, I would have been so mad. Like, I was mad.
It's just like life, like winning in that moment. Like life is just laughing at you as you crawl to your driver's seat.
It was so sad. So I'm just like, I've been dealing with that all week. I've just been like, it's been weighing on me because I'm just like, okay, here's the thing. Like, so I'm holding this handle. I'm like, all right, now I have to go and Google how to fix a handle. So I'm looking it up and I'm just like, oh, my car, I have to take off the whole side panel and do all this stuff.
My gosh.
It's like a whole involved process. Some other cars, you just open up this one little thing in the side of the door. It's very simple and it pops right out. Now my car is just like, no. You take off the whole side panel, unplug.
Our engineers just like to make things overly complicated for the detail factor.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. It's just insane. So I was just like, okay. So then I started spiraling and I was just like, okay, here I am. I have a car that's like a rusted, crazy dead tooth with no handle. The tires are balding. It has well over 200,000 miles. I need an oil change. I need new tires. I need all this stuff. And I'm just like, I just need a new car. What am I doing? I'm just like, I have a little bit saved up. I have enough for a down payment saved up. And I'm just like, oh, it sucks because I really want to go to Missouri. I really want to, like, I was just like, I really want to go to Missouri. But it's just like, okay. here's the thing. I can take care of this and adult this situation, you know, and then like just save. And I'll get back there. It won't take too long, you know, but it's just like frustrating. And you know how it is, where it's just like things start piling up and it's just like, oh God, why is everything like this?
Especially unexpected things, like when
Yeah.
when like your money's already like, where it's at, and then
Yeah.
like unexpected things are just piling on. Like, it sucks.
And for those of you who don't know, the reason I want to go to Missouri, which by the way, Steven, I'm gonna say I've had this conversation with my crush, and I'm just like, Missouri isn't a place that I ever imagined going in my life. You know what I mean? Like many other places, and not because it's so far away. I know the least amount about Missouri. I think it is the Wayne's World thing.
It's the Delaware joke.
Delaware. I'm in Delaware. Like I don't know anything, which could be good because like I think it's like a Twilight Zone-esque thing where it's like people are like all over. Where it's like I think the reality of the situation is, yeah, there are going to be like some things that are both pros and cons of that place, but I bet there's a huge center point of the Venn diagram between like Florida and Missouri. You know, like I bet like the cool stuff there is to do there is the same cool stuff there is to do here, except for there's someone I really like is there. You know, so it's like.
But like, what's weird for me, and I don't know if this affects you, Tina affects Tina too. Whenever I'm not on a coast or like on a state that hugs the ocean, I get like, this is gonna sound weird, I get like country claustrophobic. Like if I when I'm like in the middle of America, like northern Georgia, and I'm away from coastlines and stuff, I feel like I'm not near the water. I don't know why.
That's interesting.
It's a weird thing though that clicks in my head. I mean, I'm fine, but it's still weird.
I don't think I've had enough experiences outside of Florida to know how I respond. You know, like I've been to Tennessee and I've been there. But at the time it was like I was staying in the mountains and I was like, oh, and by the way, the weather was gorgeous at the time. So I was just like, oh, I'm enjoying this weather and these mountains. And like, and it was only a few days really. So I was just like, all right. And then we got home. But yeah, I don't know. That's really interesting.
You think it's because like as Floridians, especially since like we're basically sea level, we can actually see the endless horizon more times than not, like an endless horizon in terms of the ocean, like not endless horizon of land, but like we have water everywhere where you can just see nothing beyond it, And it's like, I wonder if that's like, it creates like this freedom in my mind. And then like when the mountains, you can see as far as you need to see. I mean, you just until your eyes can't see anything past the blur, you see land forever. And I don't know, it's weird. Florida man problems.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it's kind of interesting, the idea with the horizon where it's just like, well, if we look out in the water, it feels like, oh, there's nowhere to go over there. I don't have to worry about it. There's nothing over there but water. So it's like when like Minecraft or somewhere where it's like they render only a specific area, where it's like our area has been rendered so much that we can see the outside and we're not interested in going out there. We know there's sharks, we know there's water, but
sometimes huge storms blow in from that invisible area, and
but it's like the Fiji, like Truman Show Fiji situation where it's like we don't need to go over there because there's danger and it's not great, and everything we have here is our comfort and our safety. Whereas like when we go somewhere like Middle America or somewhere where it's like, oh, there's mountains and then something beyond the mountain, and it's just like that's like a weird amorphous, like ambiguous, who knows what back there, what's staring at me from that abyss. It's like I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's rendered more than I can recognize, and I don't.
The graphics in Georgia, crazy.
Speaking of graphics and that sort of thing, Steven, I just tell you, like I've been having other issues with the internet lately. Not internet in particular, but like social media, and it's just like it's been a little bit of everything. But like one thing that's been really bothering me lately is just like everyone's obsession with AI lately has just been driving me crazy. And it's because like I think it's one of those things where there isn't a solution that anyone's positing aside from like don't use it. But it's like, okay, that's guys, we need to start coming up with better solutions to these things, and like because it doesn't work with it doesn't work with sex, it doesn't work with guns, it doesn't work with AI.
AI is Thanos. Okay, it's inevitable. I mean, it's just
and it sucks. And here's the thing. Just saying that, there are already people who are like on the edge of their seats, ready to like hit the dislike button and hate us as if we're like licking the boots of the robots. No, like I think that we need to just recognize as a people. Yes, of course, we need to not let these programs take our jobs, and they need to like recognize not only the not like the limitations of what the AI is capable of, but like what it's doing as far as limiting our potential, just employment in so many ways. And so, just across the artistic sphere and across, the whole spectrum of writers and artists, and everyone's going to have issues soon, and it's already happening. Like people are already recognizing people who are submitting to contests are winning with AI art, and it's
which
and,
it sucks.
It sucks.
Like
it sucks.
It's just so funny because like I've said it before, but like it's so crazy to think about how like in school they're like, oh, you better go get a degree and like know these things because all these manual labor jobs aren't going to be available in the future because robots are going to do them. And it's like, no, robots actually pursued my hopes and dreams instead, Mr. Mrs. Teacher.
Well, what's the thing? Like, it almost feels like our parents were like, they think they're going to be artists. No. Let's program a Terminator to kill their dreams. Like, because like who sent these robots back in time to kill the artist's dreams? How dare, like, why? Of all of the people now they're like, okay, we want to like anyone can play sports. There are millions and millions of people who play football, soccer, hockey, golf, basketball, baseball, all these sports. Millions of people would love to do that professionally, and would gladly do it for a modest paycheck. But what we do instead is we're like, no. There's one big league where they make a lot of money, and no one else really gets paid to do it. And there are minor leagues. Come on, everyone knows what I'm talking about. It makes sense. There's football. They make money. You've never heard of anyone else playing football. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone else wants to be there. But it's just like, okay, why are we paying them billions of dollars? Like, we're paying them millions and millions and millions of dollars. It's fine that we do that. You choose to do that. That's what we're doing. Okay. But like, we don't have that with artists. With artists, we have like a couple of like huge authors come out, and everyone funnels their money toward those people. And then the rest of us are just trying our best to scrape by because there are ways of making money doing these things, But like, can you imagine if suddenly like someone comes out and they're like, hey, we invented these robots that play football. No more humans are going to get paid to play football anymore. Like,
no, yeah. Like at all, we're just gonna watch these perfect robots.
Yeah, these perfect robots. I mean, look at what they can do. They're super strong. They can jump super high. They can throw the ball further, so we can make the field ridiculously far. They can shoot fire at each other. It sounds like fun, and it would be fun to watch. It would be BattleBots, and it would be amazing, and people would love it. But what it would also do is it would completely destroy the dreams of millions and millions of people. Like it would completely destroy the hopes and dreams of more and more people, but also the jobs of a ridiculous amount of people. And it's just like, how do we stop these things? How do you like what can we do aside from simply saying, listen, like it's unsustainable, so don't participate if you understand that, but the thing is, the people who don't understand are going to continue to participate. So how do we, what do we do? You have to create laws early, and they won't, and they don't, and that's the thing. It's like they want
I think obviously the biggest problem with AI is the fact that it can just steal content from everybody. Every time anyone's ever published an article, or anytime anyone's ever posted an image online of their art, like the AI is obviously scraping. Like if AI was a robot that each person had to individually train,
right,
with their style, or each person had to individually train with their writing techniques, like that would be a completely different thing. You're selling this program to like help you. It's like basically selling you a virtual assistant that actually learns from you and becomes you and can recreate. Which sounds way cooler than what
which does sound way cooler. But instead what they do is they're just like, hey, how can this person become Stephen King? Like, oh, well, all they have to do is tell the robot to write a Stephen King story about a scary wall, and it's like, okay, great, and then there they go. Now they have 97 books in 6 months or whatever, because they programmed this one thing to do this one thing, and it has no other life or job or needs. It is just it all does is
and it's not like production companies, publishers, or these people that are already worth millions, if not billions of dollars. Like, it's, once again, we've developed more technology that doesn't benefit you or I. It simply just makes the people who already have millions and millions of dollars get to cut out even more quote unquote waste to them.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think, because they're already trying to I mean, look at even Marvel, like big studios like Disney and Marvel underpay their visual effects artists and make them work crazy amounts of hours just to produce this. You don't think that company's gonna jump right on the AI background bandwagon?
Yeah, they're already doing it.
They don't even want to deal with you as a human. It sucks. It is like, just knowing that those people can just cut out more of the bottom line, basically, so they can make more.
And that's all it is. It's going to be greed masquerading as free market and capitalism, and it's not going to work. It's going to kill all of us. It's unsustainable, and I think that the only solution is to completely flood the market with AI writing and AI, like just like think about this. Amazon suddenly gets 6 billion new books. How do they know what to sell? How do readers know what to read? It's what's happening is, instead of being able to, imagine right now if, instead of going to Netflix and seeing like the shows Netflix has, and going to HBO and seeing the shows HBO has, and going to Hulu and seeing the shows Hulu has, they're all in one big bucket, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's overwhelming. It's too much. No one wants that. It's cable. And then eventually they break up again because they know they have to find their niche. They need to find the people, learn how to sell things as a niche. And then eventually, when the people, they start culminating again, they start all percolating and bubbling up again. And then they become cable again. And it's kind of, so it's just like right now we're at this weird, I don't know, it's like the massive explosion of the robots trying to take over. But I think the only way to stop them is to either call them out and say, you have to label this as what it is, obviously, right? Or everyone flood the market with AI stuff and just let
that makes sense. And that's like a very simple law. Like, if you have to publish on the cover of every comic or every novel that this was either contributed by or completely written or drawn by artificial intelligence, that at least gives people the option to choose their market, right? Like what they want to buy and what they want to read.
I think we should look at it like a humanistic Surgeon General warning for for the safety or for the betterment of human society. You need to understand that this was made by a robot, because we need a Surgeon General warning for AI. We're going to, because it's going to be unsustainable and also addictive and kill us. Like, if you look around in your day-to-day life, everyone's on their phones already. The robots didn't have to send someone back in time to kill anyone. They don't need a war with guns. They already took us out by just making us addicted to them. We're literally using them to talk about how much we don't like what they're doing to us. We are addicted. Like, we need them, and they are this is a part of our lives now. It's crazy.
Doesn't AI art feel like Crypto Guy somehow? Even though I know it's not the same thing at all, it just feels like that same BS crap. I mean, granted, there's definitely more substance and validity to what AI actually is and will probably be in the future, but I don't know. I guess how I try to view it sometimes too, though, is man, I bet people that used to draw pages with ink and paper looked at the iPad like a piece of shit. Like, anyone that used that digital pressure tool on their pen, draw straight lines perfectly and all this stuff. I'm sure there was people that during that,
well.
There's no life in a digital art, blah, blah, blah. Those people existed too. So I mean,
of course, it's always going to be this weird structure. Well, intention is so important in so many things, So it's just AI can be used as a tool, the same way a pencil is a tool, and we don't just use a rock or our imagination. It's just
I'm just imagine the first cave guy doing comics on the wall with his rock, and he's yeah. Oh, that guy uses pencil so much easier. I do all this detail with a rock. Yeah, but I mean, his art looks kind of cool, if I'm honest.
Cool. And look, he can erase it now. That's pretty great. Yeah, well, if he was good, if you were good,
he'd carve it into the stone with another stone.
So there's always there's always that aspect of the yes.
But AI definitely does feel too much of a leap. At least digital it does just feel it's we went from this to here, and it happened so fast too. Like I feel like all AI, it's like it crept up on us. Like it was like all these things, like all these fun things were happening, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, this thing is painting better than Da Vinci sometimes, and it's pretty crazy, you know, like
yeah, and like, well, what drives me crazy about it is if it weren't for the greed and capitalism of it all, it would be such a fun tool to play with. It would be an opportunity, or it would give us and general public an opportunity to explore thoughts that they otherwise wouldn't have the time to explore. You know, like if
generate
I wanted
a show, you know, a
yes,
cartoon, or
yes, if I was just like, okay, I want to see the Jetsons, but if they were in the Purge, they're like,
yeah,
okay, cool. Now I can see like the Flintstones knocking on their door in the Purge, and like you can watch that movie because of computers. No one needs to spend the time writing that movie. No one needs to spend the time animating that movie. It's that's we're all going to die one day. So we want things to happen quickly so we can experience as much as possible in the little time we have. I get that. And I love that. That being said, it's unsustainable given our current situation. That's all it is. Like it sucks. I love the potential of it. Like I love the apps sometimes. I love like filters sometimes. I like seeing like the quick like silly cartoon stuff of us and like of like coming up with like fun character designs. That stuff is so much fun and there's so much potential, but it is a symptom of a larger problem that is just going to bleed us to death if we don't do something about it. And it's frustrating because I think we all know that nothing's going to be done about it and it's going to become a personal moral issue with people. And that's all it's going to be. It's going to be it's just going to be like sex or guns or drugs or anything else. It's like, do we ban it altogether? Do we, leave it to the personal discrepancy or whatever, and it's just like, it's an issue and it's hard.
I think that, like what you said though, is the best way. Like just having to label anything AI generated, even down to the percentage of the project. I mean that just makes sense to me. That's a very, because then that still gives people that want to create with AI the ability to create with AI, but they can't be dishonest. And
I got it, Stephen. I got it. I got the solution. I have the solution to all the AI problems, Stephen. They have to credit the AI as I mean, Steven, what's the best AI name? No, listen. Everyone has to use the same name and it has to be on the cover of their books. Okay.
Oh man, like this AI, like the AI as a whole has a name.
AI as a whole has a name. And it's like, it has to be, what is it, Steven? Like it has
Asshat Institutions.
Yes, Asshat Institutions. There you go. Yes. All right. So we're going with the acronym. Perfect. So it's Asshat. So every book that ever comes out with AI at all.
Brought to you by Asshat
Institutions. And it has to be in Comic Sans. It has
to be in like awkward, like, and like Comic Sans, but also like they like save the image, but so that there's like a white block around it, like the name, like beautiful cover, like artwork, and then there's just this black font Comic Sans with a white box around it.
Brought to you by Asshat Institution. That's it though. I think we just solved AI. I'm glad we stopped Skynet from taking over. That's it. Just like enact that. Like go ahead.
Our doors just blow open. Like we start getting taken out by like just like T1000 units.
No.
They figured out the code.
So Stephen, every once in a while, we get questions from our colony. We're trying really hard to build a colony here. We've been doing this for 143 episodes now. We have friends, fans, family, people who like join, who want to like support us and also just be a part of what we're doing. We build with each other, we support each other, and we're here for each other. And as such, people have questions for us. So hit me with that sweet question from the
all right. We got the 3 F's, that's friends, fans, and family. Cause it's ostrich colony questions.
That's
colony.
That was the best one. And it's same as always, of course. Just if you don't know, if you haven't seen all of our show, first of all, hit subscribe, please. Thank you. Then go watch every episode and you'll see every time we've done a Questions from the Colony segment, Steven has nailed that song. It's my favorite thing. Steven, so we have questions from the colony. People ask us all sorts of questions. We have a question from Naomi P. Lane, Namaford on Twitter. She asks, when you make your comics, do you storyboard the drawings first or do you outline first? Do you collaborate on every step or delegate and each have a separate role? So what do we do, Steven? How do we make comics?
Anthony definitely thumbnails and stuff like that. And sometimes I see those thumbnails, but sometimes he like intentionally doesn't show me those thumbnails just to see what I'm going to come up with.
Yep.
So like Anthony I's process is probably different. We've said this before, but it's probably different than like most writer artists.
By different, he means better. We're nailing it. We're doing it.
This is basically like a free, like Anthony has an idea, but as long as that idea is roughly met on each page, he's not expecting me to be like downward shot of like, if I make some sort of artistic like decision, he's 9 times out of 10 completely cool with it, So, I think like the only
time I lie.
Yeah. And the 10th time he's like, you better put that leg kicking backwards and not forwards.
It was a soft suggestion. I was like, this would help, but
and like you weren't wrong because like when I was drawing that leg in specific, like I was like, okay, his boot is oversized, but I need to create perspective. But I also need to show that his knees because I was trying to have him have his knee lifting for the Spartan kick to kick straight out.
I see what you're saying.
But like there was just no way to capture that with the size of the knight's boot in comparison to his body. So I'm like, no, just screw it. The leg goes behind him, like Anthony says. It makes a lot more sense. And then you can just follow the fluid motion.
I mean, if it were animation, we'd totally go full Spartan kick because you could show that in with motion. But with like still frames, I don't know. I think
it's difficult. Yeah. But I'll be honest, if you really want my process, which is probably a horrible piece of advice, I just find a panel that I really like on what he's describing on a page. And then I just draw that, and then I make everything else go around that because, like, I find like a center point of the page that I think sounds cool or looks cool, and I draw that cool thing. Like, for example, the page before the one I just did this week, he's getting punched. Like, there's a epic punch thing. Something's happening. And I literally came up with that first, and I just layered things on top of it, because I'm like, that's the moment on that page for me. So same with the angel page, that angel's like from issue 1, the angel slicing the throat was the most imperative thing for that entire page. Everything else was just like not white noise. It's still story happening, but that's how I do it. That's how I attack a page. I find one. And like, I guess if I did storyboard or outlined, I wouldn't rough as long as I do, because sometimes like when I rough, my roughing process can take some time, but like, everyone has their way of doing things, I guess, whatever makes you feel comfortable while you're doing it, Yeah.
But yeah, we delegate it really well, I think. Like I write it, and like Steven said, I make little thumbnails where I draw as I'm going to just aid myself in the writing process. But I don't show Steven that deliberately unless if he like can't picture what I'm writing for whatever reason. Almost never happens, but like because I prefer Steven to translate in his mind artistically what I'm writing, because he always does a great job. It's amazing, and we 9 times out of 10, and we just it works out for us. And then so he draws it, passes it back to me, and I do a flat color, which I just do very basic colors of everything on the page. I give it back to Steven, he shades it, and then I do the little word bubbles and that stuff, and that's our comic.
And then he basically finalizes it too. So like, it's definitely. I don't know how many people in the industry work like that. I'm sure there's definitely been teams in the past that have worked like that. I know like Rob Liefeld and Fabian, they like work together, I think, like that. But I think Rob just did all the art though, I think.
Yeah.
And then they probably still had someone balloon it. So, but being indie like this, it like literally means that we don't have to really come out of pocket in terms of our time.
Yeah.
But that's it. Like we don't have to rely on anybody. We just rely on one another, and it's done,
Yeah. I love it that way. Like,
it's comfortable that way, like it's just no worries. There's going to be no hard, especially now that we have the podcast, like, prior to the podcast, there was obviously multiple attempts to get comics off the ground. And we, one of us, the one with the long hair, and but like, there wasn't any accountability and, things, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, now that we have like this, everything that we do, and we basically have just created a permanent inertia in terms of working on comics, we're fine now. So perma-inertia.
So Nick NG Alexander asked, or I'm sorry, NJ Alexander asked, what would win, a pterodactyl or another pterodactyl but with a gun?
Ooh, so I'm just gonna say it.
Let's hear it.
Terrordactyl doesn't possess the like proper like hands to aim and fly. I think the gun in a pterodactyl's wing is going to just inhibit him from being able to defeat his like counterpart.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Like, unless a pterodactyl had like opposable thumb,
if
like,
it's Sauron versus a pterodactyl,
yeah. If it's like exactly, Sauron's gonna win like 10 out of 10 times for sure.
But I think like a regular pterodactyl like picks up I'm imagining grabs with his feet talon.
Wait a second. I mean, he said with a gun, but he didn't specify it has to just be like he's holding a human gun. Maybe it's a pterodactyl with like a gun beak. Maybe it's a pterodactyl with like
oh my gosh.
From his,
like a war mounted pterodactyl.
Yeah, like it could be like a predator situation, which in that case, that pterodactyl.
That pterodactyl is just that's the one that killed the dinosaurs.
That's a pterodactyl, and
that's a pterodactyl.
Like that's.
They all say a meteor hit the earth. A meteor by the name of Terrordactyl. Just flying his gun and down like a chain gun.
All of his 2 Gatling guns. Just oh man.
That sounds like an amazing B horror movie. Like I want to see it made.
Oh, it needs to be. All right, let me see. Okay, so Trevor Mahone asks, why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways, Stephen? Man. Because Jerry Seinfeld said so. Because that's the law, right? I mean,
and I have a feeling if we figure out why we ever did that, we also figure out why airline food tastes so horrible.
It's true.
Okay. It has something to do with the altitude.
Jess Lee at Soft Apocalypse is asked, what's the Halloween costume each of your kids have chosen that made you happiest?
So Chase almost always just goes for like a cat, or like she goes for simple stuff. Cambria, I thought it was cool like when they were both into trolls. Cambria was just like, I'm Barb all the way, and it just worked so well for her personality, like this like punk rock like little badass. That's what Cambria is, and like I love that costume on her. She looks so cute in it, and like it just fit her personality perfectly. So
oh, it's amazing. My favorite for Atlas was probably Bowser Jr.
Oh, that's awesome.
My favorite. He was like it was one of those things where he has to be Bowser Jr. and I was just like, I'm gonna have to make that, and he's just like, yeah, but I really want to be Bowser Jr. And I was like, okay, but it's like July. Let's give it some time. And then it's like every month he was like, I want to be Bowser Jr.
I'm still on this Bowser Jr.
thing. Yeah, I was like, okay, are you sure though? It's only August. He's like, I want to be Bowser Jr. I was like, okay, but crap.
Anthony's frantically trying to show him like Fortnite skins and stuff like that, like
just like anything that they already have a costume for. No, but I ended up making the costume, and he loved it so much, and he was so happy, and I was just like, all right, this is the best Halloween ever. You win. Okay, Jess also asked, what's a piece of media you consumed recently that you suggest everyone check out?
So I'm horrible, and I just rewatch things that I've loved forever. But if like straight, because I feel like there are people out there that haven't watched it. Like if you haven't watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That show is just so comfortable, so relaxing to watch. Like you know, basically any sitcom without a laugh track, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you though, Steven, I got Peacock because I was like, oh man, I'm gonna watch those super fan editions of The Office. I can't wait. I'm gonna get into this. And I put it on to go to bed, and Steven, Peacock doesn't shut off. They play all night, no matter what.
They're like, we're gonna whisper sweet nothings into your ear.
I was like I woke up in the morning on season 2, and I was just like, what happened? What happened? And I was just like, I haven't like
Jim's a samurai. Like the Superfan episodes really went crazy.
So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure something out here. And I watched
I know I've watched something random.
I started like Barry. Obviously, I
need to watch that show. I've heard just incredible things about Barry.
It just finished, and it really is such a great show. That just finished. I started watching the new season of Dave, which I really love that show. Have you seen any of that?
I have seen some of Dave.
Because I really like it. Like his character, he pissed me off in like the newer season. He did something. I was just like, why, Dave? why, but like he does, like, he's a flawed character. It's fun to watch and follow, and
Mm-hmm.
he redeems himself, and it happens, whole hero's journey. Otherwise, I've been watching a lot of like goofy horror movies and slasher movies. I watched like Night of the Demons 2 for the first time recently, and if you like horror movies and like practical effects, definitely watch that because it's hilarious. Like the second half of that movie is amazing. um Okay, Kayla the Mango asks, "What's your favorite Power Rangers series?" I'm just gonna say the original, Steven, because I don't remember a lot of them.
So the original is just the best. And I'm talking like the original, like before Rocky took over Jason's
Yeah,
spot, before Adam took over Zach's spot, like
yeah,
the original season one, like OG Rangers, Tommy, like
yeah.
I think it's like 49 episodes roughly before,
But that whole set, yeah, that was so much
that's
fun. It
the
was like, I
the
hate
newer
to,
the newer series are kind of fun. Like the kids watched them, like Dino
mm,
Fury and things like that. And it's awesome to see the show get to use like good CGI, relatively good CGI for, because I mean now
yeah.
everything is so easy to generate images like that thanks
Oh,
to the
yeah, yeah.
impending AI apocalypse.
AI apocalypse, it's coming. Okay, let me see.
But
Lost
definitely
Between,
season one, definitely first
yeah,
season.
I agree. Lost Between Worlds, our friend Edwin, he asks a question for each of you. To Anthony, I don't hear you talk about video games often. What's your favorite video game series? Series, like as a whole? I mean, I guess Portal's close. There are only two of them though.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
the
like,
both those games, like that's a game I never put down. Once I
yeah,
like when I
that's
picked it up, I finished it,
yeah.
and I didn't put it down
Portal,
until I
yeah.
finished it.
Portal, like the first one is so strong, and the second one is so funny.
Mhm.
It's just like they're both funny, but like the second one made me laugh out loud so many times. I really got into the Stanley Parable recently. Like we got into it. I played it a long time ago, and then I showed it to my son. I was just like, I don't know if you're old enough to like appreciate this, and he loved it. Now he was just
That's
like,
awesome.
it was because like if you've never played Stanley Parable, you get to make a series of choices like throughout the story, and you can choose whether or not you listen to the narrator, whether or not you go certain ways, and there are multiple endings, like impossible endings, and it's just like an endless like spiral of story. And he loves that. His favorite thing is just to be like, oh, there are 17 endings in this. I want to see all of them. I'm like,
I'm
okay,
gonna earn them all.
I'm gonna earn them all. Yeah, that's it's his Pokemon, just like
Hmm.
that's it. So like I don't know. I really like games like that. So like I haven't really gotten deeply into a lot of video game series, to be honest with you. Like I played every Mario game ever made, so
Hmm.
like I love Mario. But I so to Steven, have you ever considered trying out the Persona series? It has a lot of similarities to Pokemon and Final Fantasy two series I know you love.
So I have, but like for me, it's like so tough. Like, because as I get older and with kids and projects, I feel like I have less and less time for video games.
Yeah, I
And as much as I want to jump in to new franchises, the franchises that I love haven't let me down yet. So I like I think like I mean between Pokemon and Zelda, I'm pretty much like I can just like every couple of years a new game comes out from one of those two franchises and I can just like supremely like pour into one of those and then that's it. Um but it does look cool. I have seen that the Persona series. It does look really fun and awesome, but I don't know if I have time. Maybe
yeah.
one day.
That's
Maybe one day.
we're hoping, right? Okay, I have two more questions. Super important questions. The first one's going to be, what do your what do your children want to be when they grow up? Have they ever said it to you?
Hmm.
What do they want to be?
Well, I know Cammy does. Cammy wants to be a veterinarian.
Cool. That's awesome.
And that checks.
Wonderful.
She absolutely adores animals.
I'm jealous. Go on.
Chastey has said she wants to be a hairstylist like mommy.
Oh,
I don't
that's
think she will
good,
because
but that's
but maybe she will. Maybe she does like it. I don't know. But
yeah, that's
which
adorable.
I mean, Tina makes amazing money and she has an amazing career. So
Oh yeah. Atlas just wants to be a video gamer and YouTuber, so I'm in trouble.
I mean, solid goals though. I mean, he could probably
But I mean, this
he's got the
summer
person. He's got the personality
he
for it
does,
though.
and this summer I'm starting a YouTube channel for him. Like I'm gonna,
Hmm.
because I've been meaning to, and I don't want to be that parent who's just like, we're gonna get to it one day, we're gonna get to it, and then it just never happens. So like this summer, like I already set it up, and this summer we're gonna do it. I'm gonna let him make a channel so he can like have that. Steven, last question for you. Last question. If you had a boat, what would you name it?
Hmm.
It could be any kind of boat. Any kind of boat.
It would probably have some sort of Coheed name.
Yeah.
That'd probably be
yeah.
my first go-to.
Which one? Which name?
I don't know. Well, their cruise liner is already the SS Neverender, so I'm gonna go by. So I want to change it from that. Maybe like Ambelina or like
that's a cool boat name.
Yeah, Ambelina is a pretty cool boat name. Prize Fighter would be an awesome boat name too.
That is a really good boat name.
Yeah.
Yes. I like that. I would go with the Titanic 2 because the likelihood of it sinking twice. Not gonna happen, baby. I'm gonna stay on.
God may have sank this once, but he ain't gonna do it again.
Can't go for 2.
Why'd you have to say that?
You're 2 for 2, God. Give it up. You just
JP Morgan's like, hey, I got some more friends that want to do some stuff. That's for them TikTokers that are in the deep, dark reaches.
All right, Steven. So for those of you who made it this far on our show, thank you. We love you. What's next, Steven?
More pages. We are on 15 officially, so he's getting there. You send me the pictures of the people that are going to be in it, and I'm going to start plugging them into nights. So,
okay, cool. That's true. I have to do that. I totally forgot to do that, Steven. Holy crap! I have to do that, Steven.
I did it so smart this time, where I like completely already have chosen the places, and I don't have to go back and do anything. Like
I'll do that
as I've progressed through the book. I drew Mr. Crazy Mustache, who's obviously not going to keep that crazy mustache. Like I intentionally drew characters I knew were going to be replaced. So
yeah, it's amazing. I am going to do my best to finish coloring. I have basically 1.5 pages is what I'm going to go for, because I'm almost done with the one I've been working on. I'm very close. It's just that I have like the minute details of like the arcade machines and stuff that I'm like there's a Don't Make It Weird pinball machine and stuff where I'm like, I'm probably coloring too much.
Which, by the way, on those other two, if you want to throw a We Have Issues logo on one of those or something like that, feel free to do that. And then I left those open because I wasn't sure if you wanted to use them for like ad space for somebody, like, or a friend space, basically.
Yeah, definitely. But we've put so many cool cameos in this book. I can't wait for everyone to see it and just be a part of it. Okay, but that's what we're doing this week. We're gonna work hard and do our freaking best. I feel like we're gonna get a lot done. I've been stressing about my car lately, and I'm trying to get over it because my car's still running. I hate to just knock on all the wood in the world, but it's still running. Everything's okay. It's just it's been stressing me out because I can feel it. I can feel it.
It's time.
Yeah.
But it's time.
But thank you all. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. If you're only listening on one of the various podcasting apps, thank you. Thank you so much. Please, but take a second, head over to the youtube.com/We Have Issues podcast and hit subscribe. It helps us out. Also, if you want to watch it there, boost our our watch time, our watch hours a little bit. We're trying to get monetized in this thing, and it is not easy. I don't know. We are not marketing people. It's not easy, but we're getting there. And I really appreciate everyone for making it this far in the episode. Thank you for watching it. Steve, you want to say anything to everyone?
I love you guys as always. Thank you so much for honestly just keeping us propped up, keeping us accountable, being great friends. We appreciate and love each and every one of you so very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a part of our colony. We really appreciate it. If you have any questions for us and want to be a part of the show, you can ask them below, ask them on Twitter. All the links are below, and I'm sure you'll find us if you want to. So otherwise, we'll see you next week. Thank you so much. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
This has been We Have Issues. See you next time.
Boom.
Was there anything you totally want to talk about?
No.
No? All right.
I don't believe so.
I did get married. I'm being haunted by literally Satan. No, it's a
demon wedding.
Demon wedding. Who wants to talk about that? Steven, it has to exist, right? Okay, if we understand possession exists, right? Like if people are like, oh yeah, the exorcists, they're demons, and sometimes people need to get exorcisms, that happens, right? Mm-hmm. The odds are overwhelmingly in favor of the fact that some are just going untreated, right?
Absolutely. Could you imagine this demon possesses this woman, right? And this demon's trying to kill people, but then the woman's husband's or the woman's fiance is are you ready to get married tomorrow? And the demon was has always wanted to get married. So the demon's
Well, here's the thing. I kind of have to now. I wrote my vows.
I will love you unconditionally.
He's like, Margaret, I don't know what happened to your voice, but your tone and your overall personality has improved immensely. I've never been happier that I bought this ring.
The fact that you're into Iron Maiden as much as I am now is just wonderful, if I'm honest. Like it's.
But then the demon starts becoming a demon. Like, a princess cut? What is this?
I am Margroth. I am Margaret, the third demon. The woman you're marrying. I deserve.
I am the third woman you're marrying. You're always throwing it in my face, Margaret. Oh, that was lucky coincidence there. Whoa. Margroth.
Margaret.
Margroth.
Margroth.
Perfect demon name. It just, what's funny? It's like there's a demon somewhere going, oh, they figured it out.
They just got to say it 3 more times and I'm summoned to their realm.
Like cloaca.
Yeah. Joke's on you, demon. I forget things as I say them.